All right. Now that you got all of that fun stuff from me right there at the beginning. All right. So today I dove back into Hearthstone for the first time in like 2 years. I had heard that there was a new Battlegrounds update and that it was pretty significant. So I wanted to check that out. I learned a whole lot of stuff that had been going on in Battlegrounds over the last long time. I discovered all of the new stuff. Really, I mean, I didn't look at all the heroes and all their hero powers, but that's kind of just something that I feel is kind of the fun of Battlegrounds and will be the content to explore in the future. So I'm not gonna go through and read all of those, especially since they're random. So have the fun of that as the discovery. Anyways, today I want to talk. Well, in this video, I want to talk about Mercenaries because I discovered Mercenaries is its own game mode. I thought it might be an upcoming release, whatever. I've been out of the loop of Hearthstone. I just looked at the shop and there was mercenary packs, and I was like, is that just, that's kind of a weird way to phrase the new upcoming expansions packs. But anyways, Mercenaries is its own upcoming game mode. It appears to be sort of Pokemon-esque. You're going to have a group of mercenaries. You can deploy 3 at a time. You're going to be battling other people or a PvE AI opponent. There's sort of a rock, paper, scissors mechanic where some sort of like in Pokemon, there are different element types that are good against other element types, whereas this one, they're just different roles. You've got protectors, which are like your tanks, and you've got fighters, like your melee damage dealers, and you've got casters, obviously, your mages and your wizards, and they do magic damage. But anyways, there's a rock, paper, scissors mechanic that links the 3 together. You've got kind of almost it is the exact same like rock, paper, scissors there is in Pokemon. Red is good against green. Green is good against blue, and blue is good against red, fire, water, grass. Anyways, kind of a cool little mechanic. I watched a quick little 4-minute intro video, and I watched another YouTuber named Trump figuring out kind of what the basis of this game is, but I wanted to go through and deep dive and really figure out more about what's going on here, because they earlier today I saw that there were apparently blog posts. So numerous blog posts apparently. I just kind of want to see all of the content that, excuse me, hiccup, just all of the different information there is to know about this. It seems very interesting. You have your different mercenaries, and you can upgrade them. It definitely looks like it's something where you're going to be spending some money in packs or some gold in packs to try and hopefully get the correct coins to upgrade your individual heroes. There's all sorts of craziness, and I'm not going to try to be the person who explains it in a succinct, easy to understand manner. Basically, it comes down to it's Pokemon-esque Hearthstone. Each character has different abilities. You're going to go 3-on-3 against AI in a what they call bounties. So it's like a rogue-like stage by stage world sort of sorts, and you're going to build up and make your party better to try and defeat this last boss. You're, after all, a mercenary being hired to take down a bounty. Or you can slowly build up your repertoire of mercenaries and get them new gear and new abilities and things of that nature, and go up PvP head against head of other players and their created parties. So as you can see, there is that Pokemon type background there where you've got different heroes, and there's a playing field, and they've all got different list of abilities and health and attack value. And then you've got like the rogue-like see if you can beat this path of different options against the AI. And you've got the RPG elements where you're creating a party and getting better over time and looking for treasure and all that jazz. It looks like it's going to be an interesting game mode. Definitely feels heavily influenced by mobile games and all of that nature, because you've got mercenaries from all the packs that you can purchase. You can get coins to upgrade individual mercenaries' abilities and their rarity. I think there's different rarities of each mercenary, so that's an added bonus of trying to unlock all of those in addition to upgrading the most powerful version of it. I've played a couple other mobile card games that never really caught on with me. Other battlers where you build up a party and you kind of use them to take on not endless, but waves of enemies. And this seems like Hearthstone's version of it, which admittedly will probably be in the top tier of games in this genre. It looks like fun. Like many other people who like card games, this will be something where you can do a lot of customization in terms of your composition and spend numerous hours racking your brain on what you think would be the best. I'm sure there will be meta decks and meta parties out there, but just like any other game, there's going to be people who are going to min-max and figure out the good. But I think what will come of this is the fact that you're spending a lot of time and making your own synergy. Yes, there will always be something that's probably rock, paper, scissors better against what you've got, but a lot of your own time and effort and understanding the synergy between your group and stuff like that, I think, without playing the game, could probably be in your favor against people just playing meta decks. Obviously, that's how, you look back at like any other version of Hearthstone, someone could be playing the best deck that possibly exists. It accounts for every other scenario of every other card that's out there, and it has an answer to everything. But if they don't understand the deck, they can't play it efficiently, and they aren't going to be good at playing it. And therefore, and if they don't understand the other decks that are out there that are competing against it, they're at a disadvantage as well. So I think there's just going to be so many options out there. Hopefully there's a lot of mercenaries to choose from, and there's a lot of upgrades for, it looks like there might be like 3 abilities for each mercenary, and each mercenary has like 3 different like weapon choices you can choose. So there's not going to be there's going to be a lot of options, but there's not going to be so many that someone can't go through and figure out which ones are going to be more powerful based on the body of other options there are. Anyways, that's all of my weird thoughts. I really wanted to just kind of learn more about what's going on with this, because it's something new and it seems interesting. So I found a video. This is just an IGN highlight gameplay overview. It looks like it's from Blizzard's stream. They had a stream, I guess, showing the new everything about this game. Is like an hour and a half, I think. And I've seen the whole reason I kind of figured out all about this is Chrome had a suggested article for me to read, and the title was Blizzard just gave a masterclass in how not to announce a game. And I didn't even know, like, because the mode is significantly large enough that you can consider it its own game. It's a game mode, but it's really its own game on another platform, so on Hearthstone's platform. I didn't even know they had a new game coming out. That's how, and I even watched the announcement of the video. I thought it was just like, I honestly thought that this mercenaries thing was just new additions added to Battlegrounds, and that's why I was so interested earlier today in looking and seeing what all the new updates to Battlegrounds were. But it was really just like new keywords and new minions added and new heroes added and stuff like that. So you can see how me watching a trailer and thinking that, like, just absent-mindedly watching a trailer or seeing information on it, thinking that it was just a new addition to a different game mode, like how poorly they went about announcing this new game mode. Like, it's confusing. Like, there are several people who were actively in the Hearthstone community much more than I have been in the last 2 years, and they didn't even understand what was going on. Like, there's different pre-purchase bundles that you can get that allow you to have access to specific mercenaries, and some people who are just like super into like YouTubers and content creators who are active in the Hearthstone scene didn't even understand what the purchase options were that were being thrown out. And they're like, well, okay, so we can purchase this mercenary pre-purchase bundle, but what's going to be in a mercenary pack? Why would I want to buy it? Why are you throwing 3 different options, 2 of which are $50, another one that's $30, so $130 worth of different content into the top of the store, right in my face, without even like really explaining what it is. So all of this crazy confusion, I wanted to figure out what is going on with this, and that's not the right button I was looking for. So let's take a look and see what in the world is Battlegrounds. This audio is probably going to be horrible to start with.
Mercenaries is Hearthstone's take on an RPG experience with roguelike mechanics. Let's start by taking a look at a mercenary in play, where you'll first notice familiar attack and health stats. What's totally different is that each mercenary has a core set of unique abilities which appear as actions when selected. There's tremendous variety in how these can impact the battlefield: healing, buffing, summoning, sizzling, and of course, going face. Wait, there is no face. That's right. In Mercenaries, victory is achieved by wiping out your opponent's team. That might take...
See how it could be kind of confusing? I heard that they did not do a great job during the... So this is a snippet of their debut stream, their hour-and-a-half long content about this upcoming game mode, and it was confusing and people didn't understand what's going on. You can kind of see that here. They're like, what? Why are you don't? So like, why are we jumping right into abilities? Like, you just told me what mercenaries are. I don't even understand. Like, it's just confusing.
Cooldown. Speed determines the order of actions. The lower the number, the sooner.
So they call this speed, and they're gonna it's the key term for it's always going to be speed, but I am so going to call it initiative, or like the initiative value. Like, it's just who goes first. It's like
that action will take place. Cooldowns, on the other hand, tend to come with the strongest abilities. When a mercenary comes into play, any of their abilities with cooldowns will be inactive until enough turns have passed.
There's got to be some cool... So, without diving too much into how... we'll watch the rest of the video and then I'll talk about it.
The timer starts again, and you'll definitely...
Oh, there's 4 abilities there. So, I thought that you could only have 3 abilities per mercenary. So, it looks... I don't know. There's a lot to learn.
These potential game changers. In each round of combat, you'll first choose your team's moves in the command phase before watching the battle unfold all at once. Positioning, timing, and strategic planning of your turn are critical in the outcome of combat. This can be tough, as the state of the board may change considerably once the spells start flying, and that clutch meteor finisher you were banking on won't happen if the mercenary is fallen. So, you'll probably also notice the red, green, and blue coloring of each mercenary.
There's the rock, paper, scissors.
These represent if a minion is a protector, fighter, or caster respectively. We call these roles, and they play a major part in the makeup of mercenaries. Let's take a look with a couple examples. Meet the main tanks of mercenaries. While they aren't always the quickest, protectors love holding the front line and taking most of the punishment so that your squishies don't have to. With abilities that grant taunt and a cartload of endurance to boot, they'll help your team control the flow.
So I guess they don't call it health, they call it endurance. this value here is endurance
Take a look
value.
at Jaraxxus, Eridar Lord of the Burning Legion. As you might notice, protectors can also dish out some serious damage. Trust me, you don't want to catch these fists if he's teamed up with demons. Next.
So here's an ability that summons a demon. That is a lot of stats. Oh, card rarity legendary. So you can't see it because it's in the opposite corner, but card rarity legendary in this bottom corner over here. This is so these mercenaries or cards, whatever you want to call it, are going to have different rarity levels, denoting different levels of power. So like 72 health is a lot when I've seen other things that only have like 9 health to start with.
Let's take a look at the wielder of Tusks of Manaroth himself, Garrosh Hellscream. If anyone knows how to properly armor up for a fight, it's this guy. The more enemies, the merrier, as Garrosh's Horde Strength ability will add increasing bonuses to his health. Maybe think twice before you summon that extra minion. When you're looking to cut through the competition with raw damage and finesse, fighters are the way to go. Their high attack makes them key threats on the battlefield, along with abilities that keep your team's offensive pressure building. Check out War Master Voon. Favored by dragons and feared by enemies, this fighter will keep your opponents running for cover with a flurry of flame and axes. Voon can also summon additional dragons into the fight for a quick strike that simultaneously empowers his fire breath. If up close and personal is more your style, you're going to want a fighter like Samuro in your squad. Unleash a whirlwind of blade on your foes, or create deadly deception with mirror images.
There's going to be some of these, so like it showed a legendary epic and then a rare level of cards, but some of these are going to have like super high attack values of like 16 and stuff like that, and for them to do double damage against other types, like 32 damage, you're going to need some basic math skills to number out all this stuff. If there's going to be guys that have like over 100 HP and you're trying to figure out what the best course of action is, and you've got an ability that does 8 damage to all enemies, but so like whirling blades, like the casters, the blue that I'm going to do double damage to and take 16, and I need to analyze the field to see like there's going to be some basic math that's
Blade
needed.
Master doesn't have the highest health. Direct damage is always a gambit, since a well-timed whirling blade can mitigate future damage. There's no denying that blades and brawn contribute to a formidable team's front line, but you'll also want to bring some backline firepower and a good healer. That's where casters come in. They keep your team in the fight and unleash devastating spell combos to turn the tide of battle. Who better to start with than our favorite prodigal priest, Anduin Writ? Harness the power of Holy to buff and sustain your team's health throughout the fight, while also delivering consistent damage to the enemy team. As a leader of humans in Azeroth,
cool.
Anduin's abilities are significantly amplified when fighting alongside more of his kin.
More of his kin. Penance 3. So I think that's the tier of ability. Like you can upgrade these abilities, and that's where the like making your team more powerful comes into play. Deal 10 damage to an enemy. Restore 12 health to a random friendly human. So there's gonna be key terms in all of these mercenaries. So that's why I guess you said kin there. Your humans take 8 less damage this turn. So that's interesting. So you could build decks, mercenary groups, mercenary packs, mercenary groups in accordance with keywords like human.
Ready your ahs and chat, because Blink Fox is up next as another caster in Hearthstone Mercenaries. This crafty K9 of the Arcane uses the enemy team's abilities against them, while also refreshing and hastening friendly cooldowns. Notice the Arcane combo keyword. In Mercenaries, this means a bonus effect if a previous Arcane ability was used by another member of the team this turn. And yes, there are combos for all schools of magic. We'll be checking out examples of spell school synergy teams later on in the show. Let's cover one more central piece of the role system.
Spell school synergies. Arcane combo. Interesting.
The team this turn. And yes, there are combos for all schools of magic. We'll be checking out examples of spell school synergy teams later on in the show. Let's cover one more central piece of the role system. In Mercenaries, There's a relationship of strengths and weaknesses to consider when building teams and choosing engagements. Protectors deal double.
See, like, they just did 2 AoEs, and all the guys took different damages because what they're about to explain here with critical damage. But I just think it's funny because it's like there's gonna be like they took all like one guy took 16, another guy took 28. Like quick, like depending on how much time you have on your turn to figure out like how much damage you're gonna be dealing to your opponents, like you're gonna have to be able to add up quite a bit of damage in higher rankings, I guess. So just maybe have your calculator out.
Fighters deal double damage to casters. Casters deal double damage to protectors. That 2 times damage multiplier applies to both attacks and abilities, but only on offense. Opportunities to target these weaknesses and deal critical damage are contextually highlighted on the game board, and when planning bounties, you'll be able to discover some information.
So they just talk about planning bounties real quick. They don't explain it. So what we just saw here, this is the player versus environment, the PvE battling against the AI path. So when you go to take a bounty with your mercenary group, you're going to
highlighted on the game board, and when planning bounties, you'll be able to.
So you're going to take your group, and this is the roguelike part because your group will get more powerful abilities and stuff like that as they start to level up or get through these events, I guess I should say. And you'll get treasures, and those will only apply to that specific run. I'm going to call it a run because it's a roguelike element. It's that one bounty, that one run, and then once you're done with that, then they reset. But they'll I don't think they explain it more here at the end, but your individual characters will level up and they gain additional stats and stuff like that. And that piece, that element will stay after completing bounties. So like your character progression will stay, but really unique, cool treasures during bounties will not.
Discover some information to use this system to your favor. Most of the time, it's best to have a team that can confidently take on a range of roles. In the battlefield, capitalizing on the weaknesses of your opponent's roles while being mindful of your own is a critical piece of tactical decisions.
So there you saw they have an option of 6 different mercenaries down there at the bottom. You place out 3, and then the rest of them go back into like your deck until one of them dies, and then you can select a new one to place out. Now we're at the end of this video. The thing that pops out to me at first, and this is like you're gonna want a well-rounded party like they're talking about right here, but something that could be super interesting is developing parties that are like, instead of tricolored, every member, all 6 cards in your inventory or your deck or whatever, all of your mercenaries are just like maybe 2 colors. So like, how could that work? It appears that your red cards, your protectors, are going to have like taunts and stuff like that. So if you have the ability to have some taunts in there, then you could probably throw up, I guess, a bunch of casters because they would normally be scared of fighters. But if you almost constantly have a taunt up, I guess you wouldn't really have to worry about your casters getting. So there could be this interesting concept where maybe you have 3 red mercenaries and 3 blue mercenaries, and don't run any of the fighters, the green mercenaries. But it looks like there is some like AoE damage that the green ones can do, so you might be a little sketchy there. But I don't know. Could be interesting. Have a bunch of tanks and then a bunch of casters.
That can
I don't know. That's interesting.
On a range of roles. In the battlefield, capitalizing on the weaknesses of your opponent's roles while being mindful of your own is a critical piece of tactical decisions. I hope you enjoy.
Yeah, I don't know. It was apparently their announcement was super confusing. I'm just reading some comments. I think the reason why they're keeping it all underneath the same umbrella is because you get coins from each of these different kinds of content, and you can use those coins wherever. You can use those coins to purchase card packs for regular Hearthstone, or the Battlegrounds pass for 2,000 coins or whatever. Do I need to re-download Hearthstone? Nah. COD and New World will have my attention. This doesn't come out for a month. This doesn't come out until October 12th. Which is sad. Lamau, play Legends of Runeterra instead. There's a roguelike mode there, but guess what? The content is free. Anyways, why would someone want to go play a different game mode when, like I was just barely talking about, they could instead gain coins and continue their way along their battle pass that now exists in Hearthstone and get progression for the other game modes they already enjoy. Well, if someone already just really enjoys playing Battlegrounds and then they're like, oh, let's go dabble in some Mercenaries and I can get coins for buying packs for regular Hearthstone. Like, so around the same time as New World and COD. Yep, pretty much. Yeah. Yep, pretty much. Let's see. Hearthstone Mercenaries gameplay showcase. I don't think I want to... Oh, wait. Apparently they have... Apparently they have a very large amount of time devoted to just continuing along a trail. So maybe it was only like an hour-long presentation. Maybe it was only like 45 minutes. Okay, since it's not like an hour long, maybe I will actually watch this. It's only like 45 minutes long. Okay. I was like, an hour and a half? I don't know if I can dedicate all that time in a stream when I'm trying to do research about this, but if it's only 45 minutes, I guess that's not too crazy.
Welcome. I'm Ben Lee, Game Director of Hearthstone, and today we'll be taking you on an in-depth exploration of our brand new game mode.
Hold on.
Hearthstone Mercenaries. But what's this new setting all around me? Welcome to the Mercenary Village. This will be a central home base for you and your growing crew of mercenaries.
New World beta starts tomorrow at 7 p.m. What? 7 Pacific time. 7 a.m. or 7 p.m.? It's a really weird day for it to start. Why wouldn't it start on like Thursday afternoon? Thursday night? All right, Dallin, I will check Twitter. Begins on the 9th. Did I buy this on Steam or did I buy it? I don't remember if I bought this on Steam or if I bought it on... Did I buy it on Amazon? Well, Steam is having a hard time opening. There we go. New World. Okay. Here it is. So I did buy it on Steam. Oh, didn't read the entire thing. All I read was that it says it begins on the 9th. So It doesn't begin until Thursday. What are you talking about? Willis? We're here trying to be confusing. Trying to give me information about things and you don't have the right information. I can't believe you've done this. I bought it on Steam too. Hold on, I have a... Here you go.
So basically, what I was thinking of was, oh fuck, I can't believe you've done this.
Just, but he stays in character.
Oh fuck.
Excuse me.
So basically, what I was thinking of was, oh fuck, I can't believe you've done this.
I would not be able to stay in character. I wouldn't have been able to stay in character. It's great. I didn't read the entire thing. I saw the bolded date and time and just assumed I could play it tomorrow morning. I was excited, but now I'm sad. Yeah, there was a bolded date and time. Hold on. You'll be able to request access on Steam at 7 a.m. So, I mean, there is a significance there. You should probably put a timer. Here, I'll do it as well. Should probably put an alarm to go request access tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. local. Request New World beta access. At 8 a.m. All right. Added. I highly doubt that they're going to deny anyone. But if there's a small chance that me doing it right at the time that they allow people to request access gets me ahead of some sort of line, then I'm gonna do it.
Evolving over time as you take on bounties and battle other players. Hearthstone Mercenaries. But what's this new setting all around me? Welcome to the Mercenary Village. This will be a central home base for you and your growing crew of mercenaries, evolving over time as you take on bounties and battle other players.
Oh yeah, that is another part of the, I guess you could say, ever expanding portion of Mercenaries is you're going to be upgrading the village where all your mercenaries hang out.
Mercenaries is truly unlike any other mode we've added to Hearthstone before. It offers a persistent world full of choice and progression to explore alongside your personalized team of Azeroth's legends. Today we're excited to share numerous mercenary reveals, a tour of the village, and some big surprises that you won't want to miss. So whether you're a thrill-seeking opportunist or a benevolent bounty hunter, there's always a job and the promise of treasure for those of you up to the challenge. Thank you all for joining us. And now,
this was on the 31st of August
with our official trailer reveal for Hearthstone Mercenaries.
Kazakus, how long have we plotted and planned?
I sort of watched this and was confused because it was like on the Battle.net launcher.
We'll need some mercs to do our dirty work. Help Help me if you can, oh, I'm in trouble. Bring these bounties in and I'll pay double. You'll go from rags to riches in a snap.
Oh, get yourself some gear and grab a potion. Glory waits for you and a promotion.
You know it.
Just be smart and wear your thinking cap.
Now, honest labor really can be its own reward. But life is so much sweeter now you have a great sword. Step right up, honey, you can be a mercenary. They say that fortune favors the bold, but fortune does you favors when you got enough gold. You're influencing people and you're winning some friends. The story goes, your glory grows, but the fun never ends. Be a boss, king or queen, and we'll rule everything when you're a mercenary.
I guess that was showcasing all of the like mercenaries behind boxes or like doors because you're unlocking them and packs and stuff.
Welcome back to the village, everyone. We hope you enjoyed that trailer. Mercenaries drops you into the rich world of Azeroth with a unique perspective. Instead of being the almighty individual hero, you'll play leader to your own mercenary enterprise. This journey will take you to the far reaches of Azeroth, hunting bounties for increasingly dangerous foes to reap the rewards. And these jobs don't only net you nice coin, the battles along the way level up your mercenaries to unlock abilities and allow you to find upgradable items. Now I'm sure you're eager to venture off to take on your own dangerous and allow you to only net you nice coins
Rewind
for
a little bit.
increasingly dangerous foes to reap the to the far reachable hero. You'll play leader to your own mercenary enterprise. This journey will take you to the far reaches of Azeroth, hunting bounties for increasingly dangerous foes to reap the rewards. And these jobs don't only net you nice coin, the battles along the way level up your mercenaries to unlock abilities and allow you to find upgradable items. Now I'm sure you're eager to venture off to take on your own dangerous and hopefully lucrative bounties, but first, let's join Valera in her hunt for Hagar and get familiar with an entirely new system of combat in Hearthstone Mercenaries.
So all that stuff that they just threw at you would be like, what? what? If you like, I think they should have started with a showcase.
You may remember from our BlizzCon line announcement that Mercenaries is Hearthstone's take on an RPG experience with roguelike mechanics. Let's start by taking a look at a mercenary in play, where you'll first...
So I guess if you had watched the BlizzCon line, then you would potentially know a little bit more.
First notice familiar attack and health stats. What's totally different is that
I'm assuming a portion of this is the IGN video that we've already watched.
each mercenary has a core set of unique abilities
Yeah,
which
it's
appear as
this right here.
actions when selected. There's tremendous variety in how these can impact the battlefield: healing, buffing, summoning, sizzling, and of course, going face. Wait, there is no face. That's right. In Mercenaries, victory is achieved by wiping out your opponent's team. That might take some getting used to for regular.
There were cuts in that IGN video, so I'm assuming that there is additional content that we didn't see.
All abilities have a speed value, and some also have a cooldown. Speed determines the order of actions. The lower the number, the sooner that action will take place. Cooldowns, on the other hand, tend to come with the strongest abilities. When a mercenary comes into play, any of their abilities with cooldowns will be inactive until enough turns have passed.
So the interesting thing about this is this initiative value is kind of unique in terms of, I don't know, Pokemon-like games, but it is not relatively new. For example, I've been playing the board game adventure RPG, whatever, called Gloomhaven, and in that game, you pick two different cards on each of your turns, and they have initiative values in the middle, and it's an ability. These cards are abilities that you're planning on doing on your next turn. So that's somewhat similar to this initiative value / speed value on abilities for your mercenaries. That one, it's a little more like you're trying to go before your opponent. Like it's pretty similar. You're trying to either match ability initiatives lower so that you can go first, or later so that you can go after and maybe heal some of your allies and things of that nature. So where this may have been a pretty foreign concept in my mind, it's very, very familiar because of Gloomhaven recently, and I just started playing that
Play,
within the
any of
last
their
month.
abilities with cooldowns will be inactive until enough turns have passed. Once used, the timer starts again, and you'll definitely want to be making use of these potential game changers. In each round of combat, you'll first choose your team's moves in the...
So I think one more thing is, I think in the player verse environment or whatever, when you're playing against the AI for bounties, you get to see what your opponent's move your opponent is planning on doing and who they're targeting, so that you can kind of do more of like puzzling and kind of figuring out what the best option would be. Because it's a roguelike, I don't know if the current health totals of your party proceed into the next round or the next world, whatever you want to call it, in the path for the bounties.
The command phase before watching the battle unfold all at once. Positioning, timing, and strategic planning of your turn are critical in the outcome of combat. This can be tough, as the state of the board may change considerably once the spells start flying, and that clutch meteor finisher you were banking on won't happen if the mercenary has fallen. So, you've probably also noticed the red, green, and blue coloring of each mercenary's stat
So we
bar.
watch
These represent if a minion is a protector, fighter, or caster respectively. We call these roles, and they play a major part in the makeup of mercenary.
Okay.
Mindful of your own,
So there's
careful
no
piece of
there's no
tactical
cuts.
decisions. I hope you enjoyed a first look at a handful of mercenaries, and there's so much more to explore. How stats and abilities rank up as you level, treasures you discover in bounties that modify and amplify abilities, and even unique equipment for each mercenary that bolsters their kit in a variety of ways. We'll be unveiling all of that today, so stick around. Now let's check back in with Hasiba at the campfire.
Thanks, Joe, and a warm and cozy welcome from the campfire to all of you. Let's start the tour here at the centerpiece of your mercenary village, where
orange
visitors
smoke.
can stop by for a little R&R. During their stay, these campfire guests often have tasks you can pursue for special rewards. But the question of who will come to your village and when is mostly up to chance.
So
In-game,
so these visitors are daily quests.
visitors will appear around your campfire as seen here. Clicking on the campfire presents you with a task.
Yep. They're your visitors are apparently daily quests.
board, where you can see the objectives along with rewards for completion. This is pretty similar to Hearthstone's quest system. Just remember to come back to the task board after you've fulfilled the requirements to collect your reward. Speaking of task rewards, let's talk about equipment, which is often a major reason you'll want to...
So you literally equip the equipment, and you have a choice of one of three. So you're going to have a group of abilities, and then you're going to have a choice of one of three equipment items.
complete a specific visitor's job. One of the core ways in which you'll define a mercenary's playstyle is through their equipment. Only one piece can be active at a time, with 3 unique options to collect.
So your equipment, I guess, without reading them, they modify your abilities that the core abilities for that mercenary. So that's kind of interesting. You have I'm assuming every mercenary has 3 abilities, and you can just modify them sort of to your party or just your personal playstyle.
And upgrade. Let's take a look at what Illidan is able to acquire. Razor Fist will provide a straightforward damage bonus to his Winged Assault ability. We all know Illidan loves to attack, and this defensive option will prove useful if your team is lacking in the heals department. I'm sure you can already imagine what's coming next. Of course, you'll make for one very happy betrayer if you can acquire and equip the Warglaives of Azeroth. With Warglaives in hand, Outcast attack becomes a massive threat to the enemy's flanks. Moving on, let's introduce Karen Bloodhoof. As you'll see, his equipment options present a significant strategic decision. Reincarnation pairs great with this tanking Tauren, and may even foil your opponent's command phase game plan. Swift Totem will amp up the bonus from Endurance Aura, allowing your team to unleash big abilities well ahead of your
Makes it
enemy's
2
actions.
speed faster
Thunderous
so that
Sash,
you
on
can
the other
so it becomes a
hand,
1
can
speed.
make Karen's War Stomp a frustrating hindrance to to enemy teams that rely on getting in early attacks and buffs. Making sure your mercenaries are well equipped is always going to give you an edge in combat, so be sure to keep an eye on those visitors and complete their tasks to gear up. And hello?
Honestly, from that article title that I had glanced over, them saying that this was like hyper confusing showcase video, I honestly don't think it's that bad.
Cheers to Siba. You know,
I
sitting
mean, I
around
do
a-
have some information behind it before going in, but it's they explained to us what mercenaries are. Sure, they gave us a little quite a bit of information beforehand, telling us kind of what we're going to expect for the video, but I just don't
nighttime
I don't think it's
campfire
as
before going
confusing
into
as
battle. It almost reminds me of...
Ben! I
they've
think
made it out to
something's
be.
wrong with the portal.
Ah, of course, Diablo. Today, we're thrilled to announce that Hearthstone will be welcoming and fully embracing a character from a different Blizzard universe.
Okay, maybe it is kind of out of the blue sections.
Initially playable as a mercenary, it is now our pleasure to introduce you to the arch rival of the Nephilim.
Is it fear that I smell?
I think this is the video that they released, and people are like, that tells us nothing. Okay, yeah, now I remember. The showcase, I don't think is this video, I don't think is what confused people. I think it was this individual portion of the video. People are like, I think this was like released as like a trailer, an ad for people to watch, and people are like, I don't understand, like, you didn't tell us anything about mercenaries, you just showed us this video.
Upon this world. You now speak to the Lord of Terror. There is no escape.
This is the video I watched, and I watched it without audio, and I was like, why are they bringing Diablo to Hearthstone? Yes, this video would be very confusing without any idea of, like, I don't think that they should have put this out before the game actually came out. I think they should have waited until the game mode was out and then used this as a promotional tool in 2 months for like holidays. Like, I don't think that they should have done this video before even releasing the game, because like they're showing off the abilities of this hero and you don't even know what the game is.
Abandon all hope. Not even death can save you from me.
Yeah, I watched that without audio.
The Lord
No idea
of
what was going
Terror
on.
will go live at the launch of Mercenaries and can be found in Mercenaries packs. He'll also be available in the Diamond Diablo pre-purchase bundle, starting today. We hope you're as excited as we are to bring a little terror to the tavern.
Wait, you're bringing what to my tavern? Oh, hey again, everyone. Now, of course, any good village needs an upstanding tavern, and this will play an important role in your mercenary
It's not
journey.
tavern, that's a wagon.
Let's take a look in-game. Once you build a tavern, it will function as your mercenary collection, where you can customize teams and individual characters. Like the card collection, you'll be able to navigate the full library of mercenaries. Each has their own
Wow,
page to
that
manage
was-
card collection as your mercenary
That was
collection,
quite a
where
few.
you can customize teams and individual characters. Like the card collection, you'll be able to navigate the full library of mercenaries. Each has their own page to manage portraits, abilities, and equipment. We love that Mercenaries opens up a new way to tell stories with this.
Oh, great. There's skins for every card too? Does that mean some of the packs are just going to have skins? Oh, I already thought it was going to be horrible when you open a pack and you get like... So, down here in the bottom left corner, can't see it. Down here in the bottom left corner, there's this coin currency. So, through some quests, I'm assuming, and through, I'm assuming, packs as well, you can get coins for characters. And these coins are what you use to upgrade these abilities. See how this is King's Helm 4? Well, it used to be King's Helm 3. Well, you had to spend a certain amount of coins to upgrade that equipment. And I was like, well, this is going to be one of those things where you just have like this endless supply of coins coming in from packs and from completing objectives and stuff like that. For heroes, mercenaries, you don't even want to use. You have no interest in using. And so I was like, oh great. So in packs, you're going to be opening up coins for heroes you don't even want to use. But now we have skins on top of that. Fantastic. And come on. Okay, so this is a little poke at the lore. The idea is that you're building a group of mercenaries to take on bounties. Why would Tyrion Fordring act as a mercenary? Or Anduin? Why would they act as a mercenary? Why would they be an adventurer for hire? And why would all of these different demon, like Lord Jaraxxus, and I think they missed the mark a little bit there on terms of lore. I mean, I don't know what else they could have done. I think that mercenaries and bounty, like hiring bounty hunters and hiring people as mercenaries really plays into like the AI, like roguelike version or roguelike portion of this. But I just don't think it really plays that well. Like, I don't know, you could have called it like something else. Adventure groups, Hearthstone's adventurers. I don't, that's dumb. But screw lore, they just want your money. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't. Yeah, no, that's kind of dumb in my opinion.
Abilities and equipment. We love that Mercenaries opens up a new way to tell stories with this amazing cast of heroes and villains. That
And all the
extends
different
to
skins
art,
you can get for them.
with representations of the characters in different stages of their own lore. We all know Arthas and his path from beloved prince to Lich King. When you first unlock a mercenary, you'll have the default portrait as shown for Arthas here. Each character also has 2 alternates which can be earned from mercenary packs and in some cases tasks. Their portraits are snapped.
Mercenary packs. Get ready for there to be 120 different mercenaries. And you open 5 packs and you got portraits for mercenaries you were never going to play.
Shot of notable growth.
There's also a system put in place where you won't open up apparently every pack has a mercenary in it, and you can get different rarities of a mercenary. You can get rare, legendary, epic, legendary, but you will get all of the rare ones before you start getting duplicates, I guess. And I think once you hit that point where you're going to be getting duplicates, I'm assuming you'll just be getting coins. But what else are they going to put in a pack if not a skin, a mercenary, and some coins? Like, I assume you open a pack, it's got maybe 3 to 5 things in it. One's a mercenary, one's a skin, and one's some coins. Like, well, what if you already have all the skins and all the mercenary? Are you just getting 3 things of coin? Are you getting 5 things of coins? I can't see opening packs as being resourceful at all. Like, why would you? That is such. At least when you're playing Hearthstone or playing a collectible card game, you are getting physical cards. Like, and you could, sure, you may not use those cards, but you can, especially in Hearthstone, you can disenchant whatever you want and get essence to create the cards you want. So at the end of the day, there is, even if you're just buying a pack to get essence from DEing all the cards, you're getting something towards. I don't know. I don't see packs being something you want to open. Like, unless you're just like specifically looking for a certain hero. That seems super loot boxy to me. I don't know. I don't like it.
Notoriety to collect, and you'll find the theme consistent throughout the roster. On top of the portraits, there are also different frame rarities, from normal to golden to diamond, and each bringing more gravitas with added animations and effects. Next, feast your eyes on this young and adorable King Crush. He may have started out cute as a button, but once those teeth grew in, yeah, distract your enemies with extreme cuteness or intimidate with pure terror. It's up to you. As you unlock and collect portraits, you'll open up new ways to bring the mercenary characters together. Maybe you want to have Illidan, Tyrande, and Malfurion all teaming up during simpler times. In addition to customizing cosmetics, you'll come here to upgrade abilities and equipment. In Mercenaries, unlocking a higher rank of an ability significantly increases that character's power level.
So he just spent 100 coins to upgrade that ability.
Unlocking a higher rank of an ability significantly increases that character's power level. When a new mercenary joins your collection at level 1, they will have a single ability. The second unlocks at level 5, and the third unlocks when the character reaches level 15. Let's take a look at Millhouse's kit of Arcane.
I wonder how many battles you have to go through to go up a level. I'm assuming higher levels require more experience, more battles, but man, you're going to have to go play a lot of PvE with new heroes to get them up to level 15. And then you're going to have to get a lot of coins to upgrade those abilities before you feel comfortable at all going in against someone in player versus player. I can't see you feeling comfortable going against someone in player versus player without having a full group of 6 with all of them having all of their abilities max rank and their specific weapon being max rank. I don't know. There's got to be something in the PvP where like based on your party's got to have like a total, I don't know, a total like ability level or like a skill rating for just your party, not for you, for like the level that your party is, so that you're matched up with similar people.
Assault to compare his ability ranks. These are typically a linear increase to effectiveness, but in the case of Arcane Bolt, you'll be able to ramp up the spell damage you gain more quickly in addition to a boost in raw damage. Upgrading is done through new in-game resources.
I wonder if there will be a way to see the end.
Effectiveness, but in the case of Arcane Bolt,
from 3 to 4 it goes to 11, then it goes to 15. I wonder if there's going to be a way to see the end version of an ability. I'm assuming you'll be able to Google search it online once the game's been out long enough. People will go through and, or maybe even right after the game's out, people will data mine all of it. But like, it would be nice to be able to see the max tier rank of your abilities and of your gear and stuff like that before you even start, I don't know, putting time and resources into a character. That's one thing that I think is going to upset me playing this game if I get really into it, is not having coins for the character I want to upgrade. I feel like there should be, it should have, I know from a money standpoint, having a loot box with random generating coins for a mass plethora of matching characters for those coins is a good money sink, but like there's gotta be like a coin transfer system or something. Like I can trade 100 of coins of any character for 50 coins of another character or something. Like it's
more quickly in addition to a
worries me.
Raw damage. Upgrading is done through new in-game resources.
Oh, look at this. It's not even like you get them in like 25 or 10 increments or something. Look like this. He's got 36 coins for this one. Could you imagine being like 1 coin short? Like you need 100 coins and you're like 1 coin short. That would be so infuriating. Oh my gosh, that would... You have to get some coins every time they level up or something. Because like, I think this is their level. He's level 30. And like this is the experience bar.
system called mercenary coins. Each character has their own coin, which you'll earn from bounties, PvP, and mercenary packs.
Bounties, PvP, and mercenary packs. So I wonder if you take a specific mercenary into a bounty, the player against the computer, and you whatever mercenaries are in your party, I wonder if at the end of that bounty you are guaranteed coins for the members of your party. I could see that being okay. Like, I want to better these specific characters, so I'm going to battle it out with hopes of completing this bounty, not losing, but completing this bounty, and when I do, I get a guaranteed supply of coins for my characters in my party. I'm just like picking this game apart and saying what I want to see and kind of being salty about it, but like if they don't incorporate things like this, it's gonna be I don't know how long I'd play the game because I'd be pissed off that I never had coins for the things I want to upgrade.
Now let's shift gears to teams. In the Tavern's Mercenary Collection,
Oh, they call them
you'll
teams.
see a sidebar to manage teams similar to standard card decks. A team in Mercenaries is made up of 6. While you can only have 3 in play, the remaining 3 will make up the bench. When one of your in-play mercenaries falls in battle, you'll bring in a member from the bench at the end of that combat round. So far today, we've taken a look at how this huge new mode's gameplay works, with several reveals of mercenaries and their abilities, equipment, and art. What do you think, Hasiba? Are we ready to dive into team building?
Absolutely. All of you have now seen.
There's chat rolling over here on the right hand side. I can just see like one comment at a time. And someone said pay to win, and then someone said, how is it pay to win? It's hard to have progression based game modes in a game and monetize it. It's hard to have a free to play game with progression without there being pay to win. If you spent an unlimited amount of money and got all the coins you need for the members of your team, so that every part of them was max upgraded, and you did all of that through just buying packs, that could be conceived as pay to win. But you can't have a free to play game that has progression without there being pay to win. You just can't. Like, it's loot box. Like, the only way they could do it is if everything was cosmetic, but there's that's not the point of them designing this game.
The core components that define an individual mercenary. Now the fun really starts as we start looking at the bigger picture of maximizing synergies. You never know exactly which mercenaries you'll discover in the world, but there are a variety of opportunities to
linear increase to effectiveness, only $14.99.
bring them together in
Anyways,
complementary ways.
I'll try
Let's
to
start with a few examples
move on
of the
from
most
that.
familiar relationships. Minion types. Murlocs offer versatile strength on their own and work.
Brother, I can have a full team of Murlocs? Yeah. I'm so creating a full team of just Murlocs.
Together to overwhelm their opponents with agile aggression and power in numbers.
What do these say? I gotta read these. Shut up, watch. I don't want to stand up right now. I'm reading stuff. Fishy Barrage. Deal 10 damage to a random enemy. Repeat for each other Murloc in your party. Cool. Devour 3. Eat your lowest health Murloc and gain its stats. What? Okay. Fellfin Navigator 3. Battlecry. Give your other Murlocs 3/3. It's a Murloc with 0/0. So I wonder if your team has the ability to be more than just 3 on the board because summoning capabilities.
Now, if you're more of a land animal person, we got you covered. You'll also find plenty of Azeroth's fiercest beasts and renowned handlers.
I'm less interested in reading this one. Gain 3 attack for each a friendly beast. Attack a random enemy. Give a friendly beast plus 11 attack and immune while attacking this turn. Kill command. Deal 8 damage if your party has a beast. Deal 16 damage instead. The party must be the stuff that's currently on the board, whereas a team includes your bench.
Lead a demon army into battle and dominate your enemies with overwhelming numbers.
And how the hell do you hire King Crush as a mercenary? Lord just doesn't quite hit the spot there. You know, I thought that she would be like reading these things or something, but like they're like, oh yeah, we need people to pause and read all of these, but it's a live video, so we'll just show it for 15 seconds and hope they can read all of it. Fell. Oh, some abilities have a type at the bottom. Attack an enemy. Give your demon 6 health. Blitzing Legion. This is something I never do. I always have a hard time with this. I always, like, card games, everything. I just read the box and look at, like, the stats and stuff like that, and I always forget to read the name. And so, like, I have it takes me forever to remember the name of cards and stuff like that, because like I don't associate a name with what the ability is. Like, I could give a shit less. I know what the picture, like, I guess I know what the picture is, but like when I'm playing Hearthstone, like, what does Innervate do? It gives +1 crystal. Well, I don't know what the name of the card is. I know there's a card that gives you +1 crystal and costs 0 crit. Like I don't know. I have a hard time with it. Blitzing Legion. Attack an enemy. If your party has another demon, deal 5 damage to a random enemy. Fist of Jaraxxus. Deal 10 damage to a random enemy. Repeat for each other demon in your party. So that could happen 3 times if you have 3 people on the field. But I guess your party is everything that's on the field. And like I said before, I guess maybe you could summon things. So like you could have more demons on the field in your party. Oh, you know what would be cool? Just throwing this out there. You have a demon-inspired team, but none of them are, maybe some of them are actual demons like Jaraxxus and stuff, but you are especially designed as a mercenary group to summon a bunch of other little demons. Like just imps. Like you have like 30 people on your side of the battlefield.
That's just a few of the many minion types to find and collect in Mercenaries, and having 1 to 2 ways to combine their strengths on the battlefield is highly beneficial. Now let's talk about an entirely different way Mercenaries can combine their skills to make a successful team.
Spell schools have become an integral part of Hearthstone, and we're extending that approach to Mercenaries in a major way. While the loyalties and motivations of certain characters...
This might be something I don't know. I guess spell schools are a thing in Hearthstone now, like Arcane and Nature and stuff like that, so...
characters may clash. Combining wielders of a specific magic will unlock incredibly powerful combos and teamwork. Fire
I like
Synergy
it.
can come from a traditional fire mage to elementals to a whirlwind of flames itself, and can chain their abilities to unleash AoE destruction.
Oh. Alright. Fireball Storm. Cast Fireball 3 at a random enemy. Repeat for each fire ability you've used this turn. Okay, so here's those fire keywords that I was talking about. Well, I was talking about Fell in the last one. Inferno. Deal 6 damage to all enemies. Fire combo. Deal another 6 damage. So if you've done an ability that has fire, then fire combo triggers. Magma Blast. Deal 8 damage. Fire combo. Deal 16 damage instead. That's a lot of AoE fire damage.
That team looks pretty intense. I think we need to chill out a bit and move on to the next spell school.
Ooh, punny. Move on to the next spell school. Deal 15 damage to an enemy. If it has not acted yet, freeze it this turn. Deal 10 damage to a character. If it's frozen, deal 20 damage instead.
There's clearly some awesome power to be harnessed using the
Okay, cool. I like that there is spell school synergies across different mercenary role types. So like you've got 2 casters and you've got a protector, and he still has freeze things in his thing. So gain taunt this turn. After an enemy attacks this merc, freeze them until the end of next turn. So you could throw up this frost shield, someone attacks you, then you have an ice lance coming on later until the end of next turn. So they're frozen for an entire turn. So your next turn you could plan using ice lance to hit them. That's cool.
elemental spell schools.
I like
Now,
spell schools.
Let's look at the tremendous support and sustain a holy team can provide.
Ooh, holy team. So you got Uther, Prophet Valen, Tyrion Fordring. Give this merc and adjacent characters divine shield. Attack an enemy. So they have like key terms like that says like attack an enemy. So that means like you will physically attack another enemy, and if you don't have something like divine shield here, you will take damage in return. So like they would have taken 15 damage doing the attack that just happened from here to here. But there are other abilities that just say deal 4 damage, and that's like a ranged attack, I guess, if you want to imagine it that way. Restore 40 health to this merc and its neighbors. And its neighbors, so it only to the ones right next to it. Avenging Wrath. Ooh, got a weird shiver. Deal 8 damage to a random enemy. Repeat for each holy ability your party used this turn. Splitting Light. Deal 13 damage to an enemy. Holy combo. Also damages its neighbors. Cool. Give adjacent characters divine shield. Man, so I was feeling a little down about this game because, like, I don't know, I was like, it's just Pokemon, and it's Pokemon, but instead of there being cards that you can actually gain and be happy that they're in your party, you're going to have to, it's going to be a luck of the draw with loot boxes. But this spell synergy thing and the minion synergies, basically all the interesting little synergy type stuff that like really plays into Hearthstone is like getting me pumped and excited right now for Mercenaries.
Now we can't show Holy without its polar opposite. The suppression and control that Shadow Magic lends can be deadly with some clever play.
Deal 12 damage to all enemies. Transform into Benediction. Oh, it flops. So we saw the opposite version of it. So now it's restore health to your party. Okay. Veil of Shadows. Gain +3 shadow damage. Enemies can't heal this turn. Gain +3 shadow damage. Is that a permanent effect? Or is that just for this next turn? Does that mean like... So this ability went first, I gained 3 shadow damage, and then I dealt shadow damage to enemies. So instead of dealing... So... assumptions here. Shadow ability. This one goes off first because it's a 4. This one goes off after because it's a 5 in terms of initiative. Gain +3 shadow damage. Enemies can't heal this turn. Shadow ability. Shadow Surge goes off after. Deal 7 damage to all enemies. Shadow combo. Deal 14 damage instead. Well, there was also a shadow ability already used, so this becomes shadow combo. And then shadow combo, deal 14 damage instead. Does that mean this 3 shadow damage becomes 17 shadow damage? Or does that mean this 3 shadow damage becomes 10 shadow damage and doubling because of the combo to 20? Or is that just for abilities that this character uses? There's questions to be answered here, people.
Again, there are plenty more spell schools to explore and build teams around in Mercenaries, but I hope you're all enjoying a preview to start considering how these synergies can be leveraged.
Definitely. We didn't even check out nature yet, and that's...
I'm glad that these spell synergies exist and the minion types exist and stuff like that, because if it wasn't for that, it would be hyper rock, paper, scissors between the different role types. Like you might have teams that are like heavy protector, and there's like if they just queue up against a team that's heavy caster, then you just lose. Like I'm glad that there's these additional layers, like which like you would think that the designers would think that they need to come up with additional layers like that, but I feel like minion types and spell school types and stuff like that is like a really good addition of these additional
Gotta
layers.
be one of my favorites. But the show must go on. We didn't even
I didn't hear what she said.
Start considering how these synergies can be leveraged.
Definitely. We didn't even check out nature yet, and that's gotta be one of my favorites.
So are they standing in front of a green screen here? I noticed it when he was talking. His lips were like going blue. I don't know if this background exists. I think it might just be like a green
The
screen.
show must go on. In addition to spell schools and minion types, there are other outside-the-box ways to approach combat strategy. Let's check out one more example that uses tricks, traps, and the combo keyword to build momentum.
Interesting.
For
So there's
instance,
non-spell schools,
the
but
show
there's
must
like
definitely
essentially spell schools, but for non-spell users.
We
That's
didn't
good,
even
I guess.
check out nature yet, and that's gotta be one of my favorites. But the show must go on. In addition to spell schools and minion types, there are other outside-the-box ways to approach combat strategy. Let's check out one more example that uses tricks, traps, and the combo keyword to build momentum.
The first time this merc is damaged, deal 14 damage to all enemies. Explosive trap. Deal 8 damage to an enemy and give it -8 attack this turn. Fire trap. Explosive trap just killed all those guys. Aimless assault. Attack an enemy, random enemy. If it's the left or rightmost enemy, gain immune this turn. What? So you have a 66% chance to gain immune unless there's summonables. Then it's not 66% because there's not 3 targets. Choose to deal 8 damage, 13 damage, or 18 damage cast at different speeds. Oh. Okay, that's kind of cool. So heavy damage, but later in the round, your guy might die before then. Lighter damage earlier in the round, well, you might not have enough damage to finish off your opponent. Huh. Okay.
Remember that a team has 6 mercenaries, so combining 2 to 3 of these themes amongst your roster is a pretty good idea. Alright, that wraps up
2 to 3 of these themes. Is that like the tactics themes? Because there wasn't really keywords there. 2 to 3 Could you imagine trying to 2 to 3 different spell schools? I'm assuming that they're talking about like minion types and spell schools. So like maybe you have 4 of your 6 are humans and you have buffs that buff humans, but now of those 4, only 2 of them are like arcane spell school. Well, the other 2 that aren't human are arcane spell school. So you've got like overlapping. I don't know. Maybe that's what they're talking about.
this stop of the tour. I'm sticking around at the tavern. Where are you taking these fine viewers next, Hasiba?
We're actually headed towards a portal. See you in a bit, Joe. Now it's time to see how you'll access the world and take on bounties in Mercenaries. So the portal here is what we call the travel point. Initially, you'll have to make do with a reliable Darkmoon mare to get the job done. But as you upgrade the village, the technology and capability of the travel point increases. Let's head into the game to learn a little bit more about... Wait, is that Sarge?
Now's where they introduce the overlapping pre-purchase thing between this game and another
Sarge, what are
game
you
of
doing?
theirs.
You're supposed to be in the tavern. What do you mean there's not enough cheese? There's so much cheese in there. Okay, fine. If you have to go, then pick me up a block of Darnassian Blow, please. And be careful, it's dangerous out there. We're very excited to announce that Sarge will be available as a new World of Warcraft mount when the game mode launches. Complete the Mercenaries tutorial and start your first bounty to automatically unlock Sarge on your WoW account.
Oh, hey, you're new to the Blizzard universe, huh? Because Battlegrounds is new, or Mercenaries is new, and you want to check it out. Well, here's a little nudge to get you to go try World of Warcraft if you haven't done that yet.
Interacting with the travel point is your first step to starting a
I mean,
bounty.
get cool new mouse mount. I don't think it's that way. I think it's an incentive for those who already play World of Warcraft to come try out Mercenaries. Like, I mean, it works both ways, but like, I feel like it's pretty one-sided there.
Which you can think
Travel points.
Interacting with the travel point is your first step to starting a bounty, which you can think of as a PvE mission.
Oh, I like that they're actual zones. You go to the Barrens on normal. You go to Fellwood. You go to I like that it's an actual zone. Are you only going to be targeting? Maybe when I click on normal, then there's going to be a bunch of different bounties from the Barrens that I can go attack. Like I don't know. One of them's like, I don't know, Elwyn Forest, and you have the option of like different targets that are actually in Elwyn Forest in World of Warcraft's lore, like Hogger is it only in that like that'd be
There
kind
are
of cool.
several zones to explore, along with progressively higher level targets to hunt. Let's dive in.
Yep, it looks like that's the way it
Head to
goes.
Fellwood. Here we have the available bounties with some information to help you decide on the right job. The target of a bounty will be the final boss of that run, so noting their role can be beneficial in bringing your A team of counters.
So does this mean that they're a fighter because it's red in the middle here?
I think we'll take on Raven the Hunter's bounty for some good old Furbolg fighting. Remembering that our target is a protector, I'm thinking
Arcane Awesomeness, Burly Beasts, Fearsome Fighters, Devious Demons, and Fury of the Frost. Fury of the Frost.
this Arcane Awesomeness team here will fare quite well, since it has all of our highest level caster mercs. So in we go to Fellwood to find Raven. Every bounty
So they picked casters because the end boss was a protector, and red beats blue because water beats fire.
map is procedurally generated, meaning you'll get unique map layouts along with randomized encounter enemies and points of interest to navigate. Clicking on the nodes gives you some details, but you'll also need to use your intuition and decide which routes to take along the way. Let's unpack some of the obstacles and rewards for clearing them that you'll find on your adventures. Minor encounters are made up of enemies that should be manageable given your team is on par with that bounty's power level. Keep your guard up though, as losing members on your team will restrict your options in the long run. Here,
Oh, if one of the members of your team dies, they die for that run. But I think that I saw like a healer icon, so it looks like maybe
you'll
you can
find
res
not all
them.
enemies have an alignment, and they can also have keyword effects like Death Rattle. Always take a moment to scope out their moves and strategize a game plan. Now, the exciting part. Encounter victories reward experience to all members of your party. On top of that, one mercenary in your party
To all members of your party, even though some of them didn't contribute to the battle. It's just like Pokemon. Pick one treasure. Oh, okay, that treasure thing where you get something, but it's only for this run. It's the roguelike element.
rewarded with a discovered treasure that can bolster stats and abilities or add an entirely new spell or attribute. Treasure bonuses last throughout that bounty run, but are not permanent upgrades to the mercenary. Side note, as long as one mercenary is still standing at the end of a battle, all damage on that mercenary will be fully recovered before the next encounter.
Okay, so they do heal between encounters. Okay. I was wondering that.
Elite encounters work the same way, but the risks and rewards
Oh, the little elite logo.
are far greater. These enemies will offer a major challenge, and it's unlikely that your party will come out unscathed. Then again, think of the super treasure. Substantially bigger bonuses come from besting these elites and can give you a crucial advantage for the final battle. You'll also come across
Give your characters plus 15, plus 15. Holy crap.
spirit healers that simply revive any fallen members of your party after
Any?
looking away from an elite encounter. This can be a beautiful discovery that saves your bounty run. Beyond encounters and spirit healers, Keep an eye out for the many other curveball points of interest that fill the roads to bounty bosses.
What does that
Take
do?
the mysterious stranger, where choosing to engage can reveal a helpful ally, confounding adversary, or a neutral surprise. Or you can find
Weird.
and activate boons that empower all characters of a specific role for the rest of the bounty, including enemies. Alas, after battling
All
your
fighters
way through
plus
the twists
3
and turns,
attack.
you've made it to the end of the line. The final and greatest challenge will be your bounty target, occupying a special
Snowclaw.
boss room along with their hoarded treasures. Now it's time to bring out the best of your team and maximize the value of every treasure, boon, and bonus to finish the job. Successfully completing the bounty will immediately open the treasure chest for those sweet, sweet rewards. However, if your team was
What's going to be in it?
wiped out at any point in the run, you'll only retain the experience gains of the run. Any particular bounty can be attempted and completed an unlimited number
I didn't see who was in their party.
of times, with each instance offering a new random map with the same final boss. Since you can also glean the potential rewards by inspecting the treasure chest
You can inspect treasure
of
chests?
a bounty's map, there's many cases where replaying and beating the same bounty for that certain special mercenary loot makes sense.
Okay. Okay. So you don't get guaranteed coins for the bounty that you're going to. I mean, you don't get coins for your team, but you're going to have to pound your head against the wall of the same bounty over and over and over to get coins for the hero that you like. And guess what? Guess what? We're going full screen for this. And guess what? None of the mercenaries that have synergy are going to be in the same bounty. Why would you do that? Then players wouldn't do all of the different adventures. Oh, so you want to get all of your characters to max level without spending a bunch of money? Well, guess what? You have to do every bounty 87 times. Hi. A, because the end chest doesn't have a guarantee for coins for your character that you're looking for. But B, because we want you to experience all of the. I don't know what I was going on one point. It does offer a lot of replayability doing that, but I kind of wish now. You might get some coins, some coins for your individual mercenary based on them leveling up, which would be a just fine way for them to incorporate leveling up a character. You're not. I'm assuming if they do that, you're not going to be able to get a character all the way leveled up. Be cool if it would allow you to upgrade a large portion of their abilities and maybe one of their weapons like halfway. Like that would be cool, but there's gonna be some grinding involved, which is fine. It's a progression based game, but it just has so many of the traps, so many of the pitfalls that I know about free to play progression based games that just make it's just a huge time sink. Which it's a progression based game. You're playing it's a looter. If you've played a looter shooter, you know how much gear and items you pick up that are meaningless to you and you just sell them because they just are useless. You ever played Destiny and picked up an Ingram? 99.5% of the time you picked up an Ingram, it wasn't an upgrade. The only way you got upgrades was from completing the Vault of Glass.
Let's come back to the travel point menu, where you'll also see additional difficulties. A quick note that completing all of the bounties in each zone on normal will get your team well into the 20 to 25 level range. So what comes
really?
next? Once you upgrade the travel point in your village from a horse to a flight point, sorry horse,
Ooh.
heroic difficulty will be unlocked. Bounty difficulties can be toggled at any time in the village. Heroic versions of a bounty will obviously scale up the power level of enemies and bosses, but there's
Okay.
also an increase in map size and layout that
Map size. So like the paths that you could take, like it's longer.
Amps up the
Not only is it
challenge
harder, it's longer.
and stakes of each run. Now, if you're also wondering, hey Asiba, could you please explain that giant portal behind you? Well, that's actually the tier 3 upgrade of the travel point. At launch, only normal and heroic bounties will be available. However, in an upcoming content update, we'll be opening up legendary difficulty, accessed by fully upgrading the travel point of your village to the portal here. This is just one big piece of the content that we have planned to follow the release of Mercenaries, as we'll also regularly be adding themed updates with new bounties, mercenaries, and the additions to the village. Content
Hold up.
of your
New
village
what?
to the portal here.
I heard it all,
This
but
is just one big piece of the content that we have planned to follow the release of Mercenaries, as we'll also regularly be adding themed updates with new bounties, mercenaries, and the additions to the village.
new bounties, mercenaries, and themes to the village. So like expansions, I guess. You're gonna come out with the second season or whatever, and it's gonna drop 15 new mercenaries, a new travel destination with 6 new bounties and stuff. Okay, that makes sense. I've noticed there's been a downtrend in people purchasing packs. Maybe we need to release new mercenaries. Keep thinking of this from the business point of side. I need to stop.
Start tackling the wide world of bounties that awaits outside the village. So now let's shift gears and talk about PvP in Mercenaries.
Okay.
In the essence of civility, we like to keep all the drama contained here in the fighting pit. This functions as your access point to battling other players. And now I'll let our resident PvP expert, Joe, fill you in on what to expect.
All right, Joe.
So you've bested a few bounties, and now your party is ready to challenge other players. Well, step on down into the fighting pit. I'm game designer Joe Killian, here to show you the ropes of PvP and Mercenaries. Once you've unlocked and built a fighting pit in your own humble village, you'll be...
I wonder what upgrading the fighting pit does for you.
ready to...
Like, I want those things to be like significant upgrades, like that you're like, I want to do that, not just like some time sink thing to unlock something that like I need to do anyways. Kind of like trying to be a downer about all the things. I need to stop. Again, another thing I need to stop.
Get started. Inside, you can select from your teams and prepare, just like choosing a deck in Standard. At launch, a Mercenaries PvP match will consist of both players bringing a single team of 6, and just like in a bounty encounter, match will
rating. So you have a rating, but is that doesn't appear to be based on what your team is.
Consist of both players bringing a single team of 6, and just like in a bounty encounter, defeating your opponent's entire party will secure victory.
So defeating your opponent's entire party? Does that include the is only 3v3 and you each drop down a character at a time and then you're like kind of like trying to determine like what you want to play based on what they've played? Maybe you both drop one at the first and then you can kind of read off of that and see what you want to drop next. I don't know. All I could see is like having one like party do really good that you have like leveled up, and then you have to spend forever leveling up another party because you don't want your rating to drop playing an underpowered party.
One key difference from other game modes is that you take your party into combat as is. That means the progress you've earned in mercenary levels, ability tiers, and equipment all play a direct role into your PvP prowess. As you can imagine, the matchmaking in Mercenaries is quite a bit more complex than other game modes, since it needs to weigh all of these aspects to ensure relatively even power levels.
Like I was saying.
While you'll always be paired up against opponents with teams of similar strength, we love that these factors open up a ton of potential for unique asymmetrical matches. Now let's talk strategy for a moment. Unlike PvE, where you can gather some information on what you'll be up against, in PvP, your team will face a mixed bag of opponents with varying roles and synergies. You may find yourself up against a protector-heavy orc team, or thrown into a fiery foray of elementals and casters. I like to bring beasts and nature casters, so I have good coverage of all the roles and some powerful synergies. If you want to come out swinging with all fighters, that choice is yours. Players will earn daily rewards just for participating in PvP. But with great ratings comes great rewards, and at increasing milestones, you'll PvP. That choice
People will
is
receive
yours.
what?
Players will earn daily rewards just for participating in PvP.
Okay.
But with great ratings comes great rewards, and at increasing milestones, you'll unlock more and more mercenary reward chests. However, unlike the ranked chests from Standard, these contain mercenary-specific items, like mercenary packs and coins, so you can continue to expand and improve your mercenaries roster. We're incredibly excited to open up an entirely new way to PvP in Hearthstone, and now you know everything you need to get started, so it's up to you and your party. Good luck in the fighting pit, and we'll see you in Mercenaries.
Welcome back, everyone. One of my favorite aspects in PvP and Mercenaries is that you can't see your opponent's command phase actions.
There's some chat going on
Often
downstairs that I
obscures
wanted to hear a
combat
little bit.
ability order, adding a new layer of challenge to tactical
Sorry, what did you say, lady?
PvP and Mercenaries is that you can't see your opponent's command phase actions, which
That makes
often
sense.
obscures combat ability order, adding a new layer of challenge to tactical decisions. On the other hand, watching some good combat chaos unfold is half the fun. Alright,
You're never gonna know it. Like, you're gonna have to play this game a lot and know a lot about all the mercenaries to be like, what just happened during combat? Like, I just saw like a wave of fire and like, what?
let's touch on a few other areas of the village, starting with the merchant cart. Here you'll find the Mercenaries shop with, you guessed it, Mercenaries packs. This new kind of Hearthstone pack contains Mercenaries items with the same pack opening feel. Inside, you'll find coins for crafting Mercenaries or upgrading abilities and equipment.
Okay, so you can use, if you can get a certain amount of coins, you can craft a mercenary. So if you don't have a mercenary, you see that mercenary has a chance of having coins dropped from a specific bounty. You could go do that bounty over and over until you get enough coins to unlock the mercenary flat out without having to open it from a pack.
Along with actual new mercenaries and mercenaries,
Sorry,
same
let's
pack opening feel. Inside, you'll find coins for crafting mercenaries or upgrading abilities and equipment, along with actual new mercenaries and even alternate portraits.
Okay.
Occasionally, you might find limited time offers and deals here from the merchant, so it's good to stop by and check in. Tucked in over here is the
Like
mail-
what? Like, are they gonna have different types of mercenary packs, or like there's just a daily special where it's like, I'm assuming it will be something like this mercenary is a guaranteed in this drop if you buy like 3 packs or something like that. I don't know.
box to keep your village connected to the world. Besides your mercenaries team's fan mail, of course, we'll also be sending updates on new content, patch changes, and other fun stuff here. So keep an eye out for the handy exclamation mark that you have unread mail.
Okay.
Oh hey, I think I see Joe doing a bit of combat training over there. Keep it up, Joe.
Thanks, Asiba. That's enough training for now. Let me show you the last stop on our tour, where I'll swap out swords and shields for blueprints. This workshop here is where all the constructing and upgrading happens. Throughout the day, we've explored how different areas of the village contribute to our overall journey in Mercenaries. But at the start, you'll basically have an open plot of land as your empty canvas. Then it's up to you to decide what you want to build and upgrade. When it comes to building up your village, everything is done with gold, and only gold. The first step is to create a starting version of each structure to unlock its benefits. For example, the fighting pit gives you access to PvP. From there, some structures can be upgraded for added benefits and bonuses. Upgrading the campfire, for instance, opens up more spots for visitors to come give you
That's what I
tasks.
figured.
Speaking of the
So like one of the first things you're probably gonna want to upgrade a lot is the fire pit, because the more people you have around your fire pit, the more rewards you have. The more rewards you have, the faster you unlock stuff. Like that's probably gonna be one of the major
Campfire?
go-tos. Like just to funnel all of your resources into to begin with.
Let's see how the others are doing. Well, I don't know about you two, but after all that constructing, it feels good to be back by the campfire.
You know, Millhouse conjured these, and supposedly arcane infusion tastes like blueberries.
Wow.
Anyways, hey everyone at home. Along with what Joe talked through, we have plenty more exciting additions planned for the village, and you'll see those arrive in a future update. Be sure to keep some gold tucked away to get your mercenaries the new digs.
So it's gonna be the Hearthstone gold that you use to upgrade these buildings and stuff like that. So okay, so you might want to start stockpiling some gold.
And with that, I think we'll call this tour a wrap. Ben?
Indeed, you both rocked it. Thank you so much to all of you who came along with us in seeing what Mercenaries is all about. We couldn't be more excited to welcome you into this massive new adventure. Whether your goal is conquering all the heroic bounties, ascending the PvP leaderboards, or collecting a legendary roster of renowned heroes and villains. On behalf of the team, we sincerely appreciate you continuing to support, play, and communicate with us around the Hearth. We're looking forward to hearing your thoughts on today's announcements, and we'll see you at the launch of Mercenaries on October the 12th. Until next time, we'll see you in the tavern.
It was only 30 minutes. The last 15 is just sitting at this screen. It's interesting that they started this that early and only used that much time. Okay, so mercenaries, huh? That's quite a bit of information to unpack. I have heard that there are blog posts talking about a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes and stuff like that. Looks like a couple of those videos that are inside the showcase, they have listed here as videos like that step up to the fighting pit video that we watched in the middle of that, the Diablo, I don't know, crossover, that's the word I'm looking for, Diablo crossover, Battlegrounds refresh overview, I watched that. It added a lot of portraits and stuff like that. Mercenary cinematic trailer. I haven't looked at United and Stormwind at all. But I think I need to do some more research into mercenaries and figure out what more is going on behind the scenes there. Read some of those blog posts and I don't know, I guess maybe start doing my daily quests in Hearthstone so I can get some gold and have a stockpile of gold set up for upgrading buildings, I guess, when Mercenaries comes out. I don't know. I like that the game modes in Hearthstone can contribute back to, excuse me, got the hiccups for some reason. Can contribute back into each other, like just through gold. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So your daily quests across each different game mode kind of matter. That's both a good thing and kind of a bad thing because it can be a crazy time sink. So maybe that's not the route to go. I think you do get experience for your battle pass, the tracker that whatever they call it, and that gives you gold towards the end of it. And like a lot of it, I think, like each time you go up a tier in those last like 10 to 15 tiers gives you like 100 gold or 150 gold. So getting into those later tiers is really beneficial, I guess. And yeah, so interesting. I'm gonna have to do some more research myself, but for now I think I kind of figured out what Mercenaries is. And if you followed along this far, I think you know what it is too. I kind of pieced together after watching each of these different things, kind of what was going on. There's obviously lots of other content creators out there who have created 3-minute videos summarizing what to expect. But I just kind of wanted to hang out, and if anyone else was wondering what in the world's going on with Mercenaries, we could talk about it. So it's kind of what I figured I would do today. I wanted to play Battlegrounds, checked out Battlegrounds. Battlegrounds was pretty fun. I was confused on what Mercenaries was, so I was like, let's eat some lunch and come back and figure out what Mercenaries is. So we figured that out. I'm assuming by now my dog is harassing everyone in the family because she's a border collie and has energy for days. So I am going to go maybe eat some dinner. Probably not, because it's only been 2 hours since I ate. And I'm currently getting called now because my dog's probably harassing everyone. So, yeah. Until next time.